Hey everybody, Captain Eaton here for you for another Cody Oko review. Telling y'all once a week, let's get it. This is gonna be episode 8, end of take. So let's get into it, baby. I'm so ready for this. This was a pretty good episode. Obviously the intro starts off. Let me just cut to it. So the episode starts off with some sort of weird alien movie. We don't know what it is. Honestly, the girl that's here kind of looks like maybe a grown up Aelita with just like less pink hair. And then the dude that saves it, that suits the alien, kind of looks like not an Oric, but I guess you could say Oric. I mean, but the girl that's here kind of looks like Aelita. I mean, it doesn't really, but I mean, like if you said this was Aelita grown up with just less pink hair, that's like dimmed down, yeah, you could believe it. You could. Anyway, he suits her. I mean, I mean, he suits the alien. I'm sorry, he suits the alien. And before they kiss, the credits roll out. Then it's a pan shot of Jeremy, Oric, Odd, and Yumi watching the movie with their class, and Jeremy goes, "Wow, that was pretty dumb." Oric's like, "Wow, oh my goodness, that movie was amazing." Odd goes, "Yeah, the movie was whatever, man. That was scary." Yumi go, "Oh yeah." Why was you chief chattering during the whole movie for sound effects? Then they start laughing like crazy, and then the principal, I think his name starts with a D. I'm pretty sure. But then the principal walks up and he was like, "Well, that film, that interesting thing, was made by our what was this dude name? I forget. It was Jeff something. I forget his name. He's gonna say it in a second. But he was like, he's just showing us. Well, no, I mean, that was an interesting movie that he made. Let's give a round of applause to him, and let him talk about James Finston. James Finston. Anyway, he was like, well, let him, talk to you young folks about the magic of movie making, and if you guys want to, get into this business, here he is. And he just says, hey, yeah, that was my movie. It wasn't pretty good. I'm actually start filming a new movie here in a few days, and it's gonna be in an old factory around here that nobody really uses. That's to be an excellent spot. And the only one that really, well, everybody worried, obviously, but in that scene, the only one that was actually worried was Jeremy. Jeremy was like, the factory. Hold up, no. Everybody else was like, wow, really? That's awesome. And then the scene cuts to him signing autographs to all the students there in the cafeteria. And it's, the whole group, Jeremy, Ori, Yumi, and Odd, outside the cafeteria, like, man, this is bad. If we start snooping around and finds a lab and, the scanners and everything, that's going to be really bad. We can't let him, work there. He shoot there. Or go, you know what? I got an idea. And he goes in the cafeteria. And I go, you know what? Every time he says stuff like that, I get worried. I just get worried. Like I can't, like I get worried. I can't trust them. Anyway, he goes in there and it's Alita, not Alita, it's Sissy and then Oric. So Sissy goes up and he signs an autograph, and then I don't know why. I don't know why. But he signs the autograph and he holds it out to. Oh, no, no, no. He signs it, and then Sissy goes, "Hey, I'm so glad to meet you, Mr. Finston." And then he looks up, and it's not for too long. It's for like I don't know, like 3 seconds flat. It's like 3 seconds, but there's no music, there's no sound. It's just him looking up. So you see him signing. Then he goes. I mean, then he goes, "I'm so glad to meet you, Mr. Finston." Then he looks up, and he's just like that, just frozen for like 3 seconds. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know it was. Oh, I had to turn the fan off. It is whatever. Um, he's like, I'm like, what the heck? Like, I thought something happened to like the I thought the Wi-Fi cut on the episode stopped, but no, he just stood there for like 3 seconds. Then he was like, well, I'm always happy to meet a fan. He gives it a thing, and so like, what? No, 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 no. I'm so sorry. I messed that up. I messed that up. He says that and he looks up. Then he looks down. He's, I'm always glad to meet a fan. What should I write? She was like, oh, just write, Sissy, yeah, the next big star of your next movie. He was like, wow, you got a lot of nerve. So like, yeah, but my talents are amazing. So he was like, well, the casting process is already over, little Missy. I don't have no more spots for you. I'm sorry. And the way he gives her the paper, it looked like he's flipping her off. Really, like, look at this. It really looked like he's flipping her off. The way, he doesn't like just saw it, but the way he picks up the paper, Yeah, look at that. Doesn't it look like that? It's when he gives it to her. Look, look at that. Look at that. It kind of like he's like slightly flipping her off, but he's holding the paper like in between his two fingers right here. So it's like it could just be like he's just holding the paper like this, but he was just saying like you got a lot of nerve, don't you? And she's like, well, I should be in this movie. I'm the biggest star. And he was like, well, the casting process is over. I don't know why he'll do that to a little girl though. I mean, not a little girl, but I don't know why he'll do that to a girl in general. Anyway, right after Sissy, she takes the paper and Oric goes up there. And then Oric, he kind of says, he doesn't say the same thing. He was like, wow, you're going to shoot at that factory, huh? And he was like, yes, I am. He tries to give Oric a paper. Oric's like, no. He was like, well, I know the every nook and cranny of that factory. Maybe you should help me. Maybe I should help you out. He's like, wow, every kid here got a lot of nerve. He's like, no, really, sir. And then they go to the factory and they're walking around. And Oric is trying to grow some out. At first, he was like, this place is like falling apart. A roof could fall on you. And he was like, well, that's really good. They give the actors more motivation. He's like, yeah, but there's, a lot of rats and stuff around here. It could be really bad. He's like, rats? That's amazing. That's going to be awesome for the movie to get rat shots everywhere. And then you see Yumi, Odd, and Jeremy. Every time I want to say Jeremy, sometimes in my mind it comes out as Orc or the other way around. I don't know why. But anyway, they're like up in the not the balcony, but they're like up on the higher floor looking down on them. And Otto's like, what did I tell y'all? We can't trust Oric when he says stuff like this. Like, now look at this. He's getting even more excited about working here. Like, this is bad. And he started talking a few more times. And then he said, you know what, kid? How about you be the executive producer of this movie with me? You can help me out because you know every nook and cranny of this factory. Yumi and Odd and yeah, Yumi, Odd, and Jeremy are like, come on, do it, do it, do it. And then he like, I would love to do that, sir, but the principal will never let me skip school. I'll talk to him. And when they said that, they started going, yeah! And we get that scene from the opening where Yumi like throws out her fist. Let me see if I can get it. She's like, yeah! And all of them are like that. But they start screaming real loud. And then they're like, oh, be quiet, be quiet, quiet. There was one that right before this. First, I thought, because you hear like some metal clanging, and then you hear Odd go, ooh, like a ghost. I thought Odd was trying to scare him. But then it cuts to them, and Yumi and the Jeremy are holding Odd's mouth. And he was like, what was that? And Oric's like, I heard it's like ghost here, but I don't believe that. He's trying to, spook him, but he doesn't care. Anyway, I'm like, so I'm guessing since they covered his mouth, it looked like he tripped and he made noise on accident, and they're trying to get him quiet. I thought he did that on purpose. So I was like, you tripped and you hurt yourself maybe a little bit, and you went woo like a ghost. I don't know who like hurts themselves and goes ooh like a ghost. Like I just don't get that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you get that scene from the opening not odd when Oric says yes to the job, and they're like, yeah. I love Jeremy's little hooray. Like he's so happy, he just throws a thumbs up. Then they have to be quiet. Anyway, it cuts to Sissy, Nicholas, and Herb. And Herb is like, Sissy, don't worry. Like, there's no way your father's gonna let Oric to have any day off. Like, not even a minute off of school. And she's like, huh, don't worry. You'll see. And she walks away. And then you see Oric and the producer, I'm going to say James, you see Oric and James walk out of the principal office. And then he's like, wow, that's crazy. He actually said no. I even said I'll put his names in the credits. I mean, like, I wouldn't really care unless it's like the first couple. Really, after that, if your name gets seen, it's lucky. For me, like after like the first couple big names, after all that, like when it gets to the music people and stuff. I mean, like I know like people, it's good to get credited, but it's just so long when people get there. Not a lot of people are waiting. People are waiting for like the after credit scenes. You might tell a name or whatever, but mostly just talking to your friends after, it's like it's whatever. Anyway, Cece comes out of nowhere. She's like, "Hey, James, don't worry, I got you. I'll talk to my boy. I mean, I talked to my father." Then they just cut, and they're like, "Wow, Sissy actually got a part in the movie." Jeremy's like, "Yeah, that's wild." Well, she only did that because to get a part in the movie, her dad said, "Yeah, if you can give my daughter a part in the movie, I'll let you take Oric." And that's the deal. And there's only Og, Jeremy, and Oric in the room. I don't know why Og's laying like that. Look at that. Why is he laying like that? Anyway, since they couldn't get him out of the factory, the only thing now is to do is have Oric and the man inside make sure they can't make sure well really they can look at anything they really want, but the main things are Jeremy says make sure they don't find the lab, the scanners, or yeah, that's really it. The lab or the scanners. That's really it. What did I need to say? Okay, well, it can't be all that bad. For what? I guess he just said that for no reason. Okay. Anyway, Sissy and Oric they go to the factory, and as soon as they get there, there's a lady there, and she's like, "Well, you got any phones?" And Sissy's like, "Yes, of course." Yeah, before they get there, you already know Sissy. She's like, "Wow, you're really gonna see the birth of a new star. I'm glad you get to see it, Oric, honey." Oric's like looking around her giant suitcase, and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." Anyway, they take their phones because obviously you can't have phones in the set. Well, I don't know if that's true in real life. Well, I don't know. It's not because I remember little tangent. I remember I was thinking like maybe they do that in real life because they said in this episode, he takes their phone so there's no leaks. You don't talk to nobody. You don't take pictures. I was like that might be true in real life, but I remember there was when they were filming Far From Home. I just remember Spider Man. He was on set like, yeah, we're finna start filming, blah blah blah. And then that scene with the water elemental. I guess they started up the water thing by accident on purpose. Anyway, the water just went crazy and it like made some dude fly that way, and he was like, "Oh shoot, yo, you good?" But I don't know. Maybe they allowed him to do that. Maybe. But I mean, that makes sense though. They probably do take your phones in real life just so you don't leak stuff or record or whatever. Of course, I'm like keep all the spoilers and stuff contained, and they gotta sleep there too. Cause I thought they were just gonna have the actors sleep there, but no, Sissy and Ori, they have to sleep in there too. Like, cause wow. And Sissy, she loves that. She grabs Ori and she was like, "Well, me and you just cut off from the rest of the world, all alone." Okay. Anyway, right after that, he shows off the new monster that's gonna be in this movie. Like I thought people were gonna be angry because at the beginning of the episode we see an alien finna kill them. I guess his whole franchise is alien because he unravels some curtains. Like, yeah, I guess some curtains. You see this alien propped up on some wood like this, and it has dreads. It's all green. He's like, "Yep, this is my new alien. Isn't it perfect? It's gonna be amazing for the new movie." Then Oric goes, that reminds me of another movie with an alien. What was it called? Then he gets up all in Oric's face, starts yelling. He's like, "No, this is original. This is mine, and this is gonna be the best movie ever." And Oric's like, And then the girl from the beginning, from in the movie, then some dudes with glasses, they start patting Oric like, "It's all good." Like he just gets upset or whatever. It's whatever. And he starts walking away like this, like legit. He starts doing this. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? He starts doing this. I don't know what he's trying to do. And then Sissy not walks. She runs up on him. She was like, "Hey, I want to get ready for my lines in the movie. Can I get the script?" And he pulls out a piece of paper and he was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, I got you." He starts writing and she's looking really happy. I'm like, you're not supposed to write a script out like that because obviously Sissy's thinking she's gonna get like a big role in the movie like mad lines. That one little piece of paper he's writing on, I don't know why you're getting all excited like that's gonna be like a ton of I don't know. Anyway, he gives it to Sissy. She opens it and she says, "Ah, that's my only ah." And he's like, "Yep, you're the first victim of the alien. 20 seconds on screen, but 20 seconds of fame." 20 seconds of fame. You get it. And he starts walking away normal. And then we get a scene where Sissy and Org are actually sleeping in the same tent. And then Org gets up, puts on his shoes, and he walks out. And Sissy opens her eyes to see she was just fake sleeping. And then Org runs around. That's funny. I forget that Org was like he was running at first, like dodging everybody that was talking. Then he started he did like two tiptoes, looked at the alien, then started running again. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, and then Sissy is right behind him. And Ori gets inside the lab to talk to Jeremy because obviously they took their phone. Jeremy's like, "What are you doing?" And Oh, I forget. Xana pops up on a random screen, and he gets into the alien. And anyway, Jeremy's like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Yeah, they took my phones. Don't worry, I'm keeping away from the lab and everything." And then you hear Sissy in the background because Sissy walks in there. She was like, "Wow, well, well, what is this?" Or please don't tell me that's Sissy. Oh, I would have been bad too. He like, or please don't tell me that's Sissy in there. Please don't tell me. I just heard Sissy. And then he goes, Sissy, I can't explain all this, but you can't tell anybody, or you're gonna do what? You're gonna just shoot some green goo on me? That's exactly what happens. You see some goo fall on Sissy's face, and she's like, what the? And that's the alien. It's the alien. It starts attacking Sissy and Ort. And I don't know. I thought of this during the show. I mean, while I was watching it, it's a plot hole because or he takes off the mic and he puts you down and starts talking to Sissy. Then the alien comes in and starts attacking them. And Jeremy goes, "Or what's going on? What's going on?" And then he goes, "Jeremy, we got a problem." So I don't know if he was responding to that or if he was just saying that in general. Either way, you can hear. It looks like the mic is so loud you can hear what the other person is saying even if you yell. So that kind of contradicts what happened in the last episode when the fake Yumi, when Alita was like, Jeremy, there's two Yumis. Stay away from the Yumi that's on Earth. Just stay where you are, Jeremy, and Jeremy was like walking away from the mic and going inside the elevator, and he just kept walking, pressed it, going down like he didn't hear her. So I was like, oh, I guess you can't hear when you take the mic off, but it kind of looks like you can. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, Jeremy hearing all this yelling at her, what Auric said, Auric just went inside the elevator with Sissy and closed it and going up. Jeremy's like, okay, something's going on. This must be a tower. I'm gonna do a scan, wake up Odd, and call Yumi. All right, let's do this. And at first, I thought it was going down, but no, the elevator was going up, and it starts to break the floor of the elevator. And I was like, oh no, okay, get up there. There's always that hole. I don't know if there is that hole in real life in the elevator, but every movie when they gotta get out, there's always that hole at the top of the elevator. Anyway, they go up there. Cece goes up first because Orc does the thing, and then Sissy pulls him up, and they get out of there. Not before he rips off Oric's suit. I don't know. I mean, he should have grabbed his whole leg, but all the monster does is take his shoe off, and then it gets to the point to where it's in the morning. I'm like, it took you that long to get Odd and Yumi? What in the world? Unless it was like already that late, to where morning comes in like an hour. I don't know, but it comes the morning, and it's funny because you hear like dramatic music playing when it goes from night to day. You just hear some dramatic music playing. Then you see a tent and a boombox right next to the tent. You hear the dude go, "What kind of moron?" Oh, what's up, boss? He's like, "Yeah, you like it, huh? I just composed this." I'm like, "Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good." Anyway, they're like, "Okay, let's start shooting. Let's do this. Get the alien." They're like, sir, there's a problem. The alien is gone. What? Go find my alien. Then there's a random girl comes. So like, yeah, the two youngsters are gone too. And he just starts getting mad and mad. Like he finna start spazzing. And this scene was hilarious. So Sissy and Org are hiding somewhere, and Sissy spazzing because this plastic alien tube thing starts attacking him, almost killed him. And Org, he's used to this, so he's like chilling. But they're hiding in like this corner, and Org's like this around Sissy, and Sissy's grabbing him like spazzing out, and she's spazzing out. Org's all calm. Like, Org is just chilling, and Sissy's spazzing. Look at this. Sissy is going stupid or to like. Mhm. He just stares straight at the screen and Sissy is spazzing. And when you hear some growling and he's like, shh, shh, puts his hand over her mouth. Then the alien comes down and charges at him. Then it flashes, and then the alien shoots some goo out and it sticks Oric and Sissy to the wall. And then it licks Sissy's face. I remember this, but I never forget. Like legit, I just watched this 20 minutes ago. As soon as the episode ends, I get up, set this up, then I review it, get the episode playing, so it's fresh in my mind. I remember watching this. I said out loud, like, ugh. I legit went, ugh. Like, what in the world? Like, I remember he did that. At the same time, I was like, ugh, what in the world? That is disgusting. Then it cuts to Yumi and Jeremy almost said Ort. Anyway, they come up to the bridge of the factory, and there's a guard there, but he sleeps, so they just tiptoe past him. And then they're in like the little storage room. Well, yeah, I guess the storage room. So they're like, okay, Odd, Jeremy, you guys, you take him to Lyoko. I'll look for Sissy and Ori. Okay, break. That's the plan. Anyway, they get there. He's starting to send Odd to Lyoko. And Yumi, she's in like, I didn't know they had it, but it's not like the sewers, but it's like, I don't know. It's this. It's like some place underground the factory. I guess the sewers, yeah. Where there's like water and different platforms when it up to the other one. Anyway, she's just walking around and then she turns a corner and there's the dude and the girl there, some random adults. And she's like, oh shoot. And when she turns the corner again to like, dogs out of the way, she trips over some metal that makes a sound. And then the dude comes around with a flashlight looking around. And then the camera pans up and Yumi is on top of one of the things. I don't know how she got there because it's like you don't see like a ladder thing to get up there, and you can't just grip up there. She had a lizard, but she's like, look at this. She's like, that was the same corner. Yumi was coming this way, then she cut this corner and saw them. She was like, oh no. Then she goes back around. She trips on something. Then the dude was like, oh, what the heck? And then he comes this way to look around, and then it pans out, and then he's like, oh, I don't see nobody. And then Yumi, she's way up there. I don't know how she got up there, but Yumi is like that. She can just jump up there like that. Like she's like, whoo, that was a close one. Anyway, this was funny too. He gets to Lyoko and he's like, wow, I wish it was kind of hotter here. And then Alita goes, hey, hey, come on, let's just run there. You can get warmed up. I'm like, this is a virtual reality. I don't think you can get warmed up, but okay. Anyway, this was funny. Alita goes, the tower is just like over there. Come on, let's go. You can get warmed up by running. So they start running and the camera pans out. And I guess they didn't care. But this is legit what it is. They're running to nothing. They're running to the digital sea. I'm guessing when it cuts back to them later on when we see in this episode, they're going over to that platform. But unless there's a teleporter over there, Alita starts to sing and makes a bridge. She's like the tower isn't too far; it's in the distance. Unless I don't know, I guess we can't see it. They didn't care about rendering, but it looks like they're just running to nothing. They're running to the digital sea. I know my boy Jeremy is like on the looking at the scanner thing. Like he hears all this like Alita like yeah, come on, let's just go. It's in the distance. He's like um do a whole 360. Are they finna? No, are they finna run to the digital? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Ain't no way y'all finna run into the digital sea. What in the world? Whew. Anyway, we cut back to Sissy and Oric, and Sissy's like, "Why didn't they just kill us? Why are we still here?" He's like, "Well, they probably. I mean, well, the alien is probably using us as bait right now." Sorry. Okay. I got to think on my phone. He's like, he's probably using us as bait right now. Huh, that makes sense. And then Yumi comes up and cuts some out of it. Cause Cece goes, oh, Yumi, I thought I'd never say this, but I'm glad to see you. Or it's like, yeah, Yumi, thanks. Get us out of here. Yumi just walks up, he goes in her pocket, he just pulls out a pocket knife. I guess he just had to. And then James, yeah, it was James Finston. I don't know, I don't care about this character. Anyway, he comes up and he's like, hey, and he just cuts to Odd and Alita, and they're running and they're on a bridge, and then a bunch of wasps. I think that's what they call. This is the first episode we've seen them actually. I've been waiting for them because that's every enemy so far. The wasps, we've seen the roadsters, the mega tanks, the blocks. Well, in season one, these are all like the main enemies of season one. The roadsters, blocks, wasps, mega tanks, crabs, and that's it. Those are like the five main OG enemies right there. I think that's like yeah. Anyway, there's a ton of them, and they start shooting, or they go in front of Odd and Alita. Oh no, they don't. They do it behind them. Anyway, I mean they do it in front again. Anyway, there's a ton of them, and they all swarm down together, and they start shooting in like a straight line like crazy, and then they die again. They're like, Alita, come on, we gotta go. And Audie jumps off of an iceberg, not iceberg, but jumps off a piece of ice, and just gets in the grill of one of them. boom, laser arrow, and takes it out. And then they start running again because there's that same attack. And one of them actually gets on. I don't know why they don't do it again because like they do that same attack where they all form down together and start shooting, and then one of them actually hits Odd, and Alita's like, "Oh, Ali, Odd." He's like, come on, come on, let's keep going. He's like, come on, let's do it. Anyway, it cuts back to them to where James has James has Oric, Yumi, and Sissy in a room. He's like, well, with my alien, and you just hear banging, and the alien comes in, and it just slams James against the wall, and he passes out. And then while that happening, everybody else, I'm so sorry, Oric, Sissy, and Yumi running through a door they're trying to open, and they barricade it. And right before it starts to try to break down that door, James grabs the tail of the alien. He was like, I made you. You have to obey me. And it looks at him and it just sprays him against the wall of two other people that he just did. The random dude that almost caught Yumi and some random girl that was there already. Anyway, anyway, it cuts to Odd. No, I'm so sorry. It cuts to Oric and Sissy and Yumi in a corner with on that wave. The only one that has a weapon is Oric. He has like this metal pipe. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a metal pipe. And Sissy starts spazzing and she's all scared and she's like making a ton of noise. And Yumi's like, "Hey, can you settle her down?" And Oric just goes, "Hey, shh, be quiet." Shh. Then he comes back to Odd and Alita, and they're running down a path, and then it's a steep slide like hill into a cave. And they're like, okay, let's just go. Come on, Alita. And he slides down it. Well, Odd, he slides down the whole thing on his feet. He's just on his feet. And then Alita, she slides down on her butt like a normal slide. And they start sliding down this tube slide, sort of like in Ice Age. Remember, yeah, I can just show you. But you know, I remember Ice Age when that ice slide they did in the first movie. They're like in that and they're sliding down. As a kid, I love this scene. I used to rewind it all the time. I love this scene. Just like, just going on an ice slide. I love the Ice Age. I love it in this. And they just sliding down like crazy. It was a cool little scene where they go first person perspective from Alita and she's watching Odd. Like, see, it goes first person perspective from Alita sliding down like this, and you see Odd just sliding on his feet. That was pretty cool to do. They didn't have to do that, but that was pretty cool. Anyway, they slide for a little bit, and then Ollie goes, "Hey, Jeremy, what's at the end of this tube slide thing?" And you just hear Jeremy go, oh, I get it, Geronimo!" In this scene, I don't know how they didn't lose all their life points, but they just fall on the ground so hard. Look at this. They hit the ground. So it's the sound of it. That made me laugh. I had to record it. I mean, I had to rewind it a few times. That was funny. He was like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Boom, boom. And then Jeremy goes, "Well, you're closer to the tower now." Well, thanks. Thanks a lot. Anyway, they get there, and Otter goes, "Well, there's a problem. There's two activated towers. There's two red towers." And Jeremy goes, "Well, the scan only picked up one." And Lita's like, "Well, I guess Xana did this to mess us up. Like, this is pretty bad." And then the Wasp, they come back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they call the Wasp. I don't know what else you could call them. Anyway, while Odd is fighting them, they're like, Alita, you got to make a choice. Which one are you going to choose? And Alita's like, huh, okay. So she gets in the middle of them, and she's just standing there with her eyes closed like this. So at first, I thought she was just meditating, like trying to. I thought she could like meditate and like tell which towers are fake and which towers real. And then she goes into the left tower. And then while she's going up there, at the same time, it keeps cutting back to the alien attacking Odd and Oric. I mean, it keeps attacking Yumi and Oric, and it brings out its tentacle dreads and starts choking them. And it's kind of sad, 'cause, like it's choking them like crazy, and they can't breathe, obviously. And she's just right behind them, crying. She's like, "Oh no!" Like she can't do anything. And I mean, she didn't try anything, but like realistically, she can't do anything. And it keeps cutting back to that. And then it cuts back to a leader where she does call Lyoko, and she was like, "Jeremy, you know if I picked the wrong tower, it's game over." And he was like, "Well, yeah, it's okay." And then it cuts like the wasp, the rest of the wasps, like two wasps are swarming around the tower Alita's in. And then Odd, he dies because he runs out of arrows. And then he's like, huh. Then he just jumps out and he's like, ah! And then they just shoot him. They just shoot his dumb tail and he falls on the ground and gets devirtualized. And Jordan's like, Alita, I got faith in you. See, that's Code Lyoko. Nothing happens and it goes back to them getting choked out and it comes back and Alita like, oh no, I chose the wrong tower. And then Jeremy's like, oh. And then she's like, wait, hold up. And then all the little the I don't know, I guess all the little tablet things have to fall down. Then it does called Lyoko. Then he goes, okay, return to the past now. And then I'm like, why did it take so long? I don't know why it took so long. Because usually when she does it, it's just instant. I guess Xana like saw like, dang, are you serious? She chose the. Well, I can't hold it back forever. I got it. Man, just do it, man. Just do it. Golly, my goodness. Like, how she choose the right tower? And I was like, what was the point of like meditating in between them? 'Cause I thought you could like tell which tower it is by meditating in between them, but I guess it was just like, okay, I guess left. I guess left is the right one. And at the end of the episode, it goes back in time where he's sounding everything. And Oric goes up there and he's like, hey, I'm so glad you're using the factory. He's like, yeah, really? I know it'll be a good spot. And he's like, yeah, well, you know, somebody else did a movie over there already. Are you serious? Yeah, it had some sort of alien and it was this and that. He was like, I'm not going to use the factory. And everybody's like, yeah, let's go. And while he's saying that, like, you know what? I'm not going to use the factory. This man Ori, he's like, yeah, he's like, he's like, he starts doing a thumbs up with with that stupid smile. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, he goes outside. Everybody's cheering because it was a little funny scene where, oops, oh, it doesn't matter. It was a funny scene where he's on the phone and he was like, you know what? I'm not gonna use the factory. It was a dumb idea. I don't even know who came up with the idea. Then he pauses. He was like, "Who you calling a liar? I'm not a liar. I can get another producer if I want to." And then as soon as he walks out off of the screen, the whole group is like, "Yeah, let's go, Oric. That's my boy. Yeah." End of the episode. It was a good episode. 10 out of 10. I really liked it. That one sissy part with the alien just ugh, that was just nasty. But anyway, after that, pretty good episode. So like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all out there for being wonderful and beautiful and handsome human beings. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. See you guys next week for episode 9. Episode 9. All right. I'll see you, little Yoko Warriors. Ah.